for the first time in absolute ages, you are going to have a confidence, you are going to have a power, you are going to have a self-esteem to deal with a certain aspect, with such a big problem in your life that was affecting you and messing you up, especially when it comes to your planning, and especially when it comes to your energy, and especially when it comes to your optimism. This was really draining your energy for the past 5 months, and every single time when you were thinking about a specific subject or a specific thing that you went through within the last 5 months, this in itself would make you to fight with yourself, to argue with yourself. Why? Because it created this mental blockage, like a spiritual mental blockage, which can be very difficult and very dangerous at times, because it stops us and it kind of like puts us in a stationary position at the time when we shouldn't be in a stationary position. Why? It's because it's all entirely down to you and one particular specific decision that you need to make. And in order to make this specific decision, you will know exactly what am I talking about. You need to have the relevant amount of confidence. You need to have a relevant amount of self-esteem. You need to have this really kind of specific courage. So what is going to happen at the beginning of this week, and I'm talking about the week in between the 16th and the 22nd of January 2023, well, it's all going to start with a specific message that you are going to have from someone. Specific information at the beginning of the week is going to come from someone who is a rather consistent person in your life, and this particular person is consistent in such a way where they keep on kind of giving you certain information every now and then, or through them, by them, you get like a specific information that helps you a lot, like on your spiritual journey, by knowing what is going on, like in your life and around your life, for example, from a slightly different angle. But it's to do with someone who you really trust, it's to do with someone who is really smart, and it's to do with someone who is really clever and extremely spiritual as well. Through that person, you are going to have this message and you are going to have this information that is instantly going to elevate you, because you are going to understand that now it's time for you to make a really important decision. And I'm telling you that this is information and message that you are going to gather, that you are going to get from that wonderful person in your life. At the same time, it's more about your eyes being open to the point that nothing is going to close them ever again. Not that you're gonna blame yourself why you didn't make the necessary move over the past 5 months. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? You're just reaching this stage of your spiritual journey where you're gonna become fully aware of something which is not going to only open your eyes, but it's also gonna make you feel completely enlightened in so many different ways. And this in itself, it's really to do with something that you've been fighting with yourself for over the last 5 months. You didn't like to talk about it, you didn't want to talk about it, but you didn't like to talk about it, you didn't want to talk about it, you didn't even like to think about it, because it was eating you inside. It was like a bit of like, oh my God, just like a kind of like a little bit of a blockage that was caused by our own fear, but purely because also you were able to kind of reflect on the certain other things that were happening to you and around you in the world, for example, within the last few years. And so many different bits and pieces have caused a little bit of a blockage, especially when it comes to you moving on as fast as you want to move at this stage of your life. So the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Cancerini, it's all about this important message that you're going to have, that it's instantly going to elevate you in such a way where you're going to have so much confidence in order to, it's not even so much about making the specific decision, it's all about you coming to terms with something. So this is it. Like, to start with, it's more about you opening your eyes, becoming fully aware of something, and coming to terms with something as well at the same time. It's more about you slowly but surely, baby, coming to terms with something. And what you're gonna come to terms with is that, you know, it's about what you're gonna be facing, this direction, this path. It's about you knowing that it's gonna be really hard work ahead, but you should really do it, and you need to stick to this plan no matter what. And what was putting you off before, there's so many different elements that were causing you to kind of be down, and that was preventing you from, you know, to elevate to the point where you are just gonna like kind of realize that those things that you were worried about, you know, it's like they were much darker and much more negative, like, you know, in your mind, and what they actually are. Do you see what I mean? So it's like you kind of moving on and elevating yourself. So it's all about, you know, you knowing exactly about steady progress. It's going to be ahead. It's about the hard work, okay, but you should definitely do it, and you need to stick to the certain plan. This in itself, it's now suddenly going to really kind of make you aware of like a few different options, and these few different, when you become aware of this now, suddenly these few different options, this is going to happen like within the next 2 days after this moment in time. So it's all about you starting to open up, and it's all about you slowly but surely like a drifting with this absolutely wonderful energy, which is going to take you to the relevant stage of your life, to the relevant point where you are going to be living your life in a completely different way to what you're living it right now. But this is now absolutely the beginning, and in exactly 4 months from now on, and in exactly 4 months from now on, you can write it down, see it, you can write it down, come back to this video if you don't believe me. You know, in exactly 4 months from now on, you are going to be having an opportunity which is going to be probably the most powerful, the most significant, the most amazing, the most excellent opportunity of your lifetime. So this, what's happening right now, my gorgeous Cancerini, it's going to bring you the absolutely mind-blowing opportunity in exactly 4 months. This opportunity is going to change your life, but you have to trust yourself. This is an important stage of your spiritual journey. There is a reason why it was all kind of slowed down for the last 5 months. There was a reason why you were fighting yourself like very often, only when you were like kind of thinking about it. As soon as you would reflect on this, you would like kind of, oh my God, I want to do it, no I don't, I want to do it, no I don't. There is a reason for it, because specifically within the last 5 months, like, oh my God, you have learned so much about yourself. You have learned so much about the people in your life. You have learned so much about the world outside. You have learned so much within the last 5 months. So this is why these 5 months were important, like quite a lot, okay? Because there is a specific learning experience that you gathered, and the specific learning experience that you gathered within the last 5 months, it's also to do with like you know, with some kind of like something new, something very interesting that was on your mind so often, but you didn't do anything about it. But you know that this is an element that you need to bring into your life as well. So something additional that you've learned over the last 5 months, you need to kind of like get back to it somehow and see what attracted you so much, what became so delicious to you within the last 5 months, what did you feel like a completely strong like kind of connection towards, and what did you want to learn more about? What did you want to find out more about? There is something within the last 5 months that really kind of got your attention like so much, inspired you so much, and you just lived that moment for a second. You know, you just felt this like there is no tomorrow, and then poof, it just disappeared. You completely forgot about it. So now you're going to be reminded what inspired you like so much, mind-blowingly, something mind-blowingly inspired you within the last 5 months. But then very soon after that moment in time, other things happened. The negativity from the outside, the lots of negativities that you became aware of, just took the better of you, and somehow the things got messed up in between, and you kind of forgot about it. So now you're also going to be reminded what inspired you so much, and this is going to surprise you. Like, where is, oh my God, like, I can't believe, like, I'm thinking about this again. And then you're going to realize, oh oh my God, as soon as I'm thinking about it, my whole body changes. I become so creative. I become so energized. I instantly become so optimistic about myself, and I instantly heal myself. But also at the same time, as soon as you're thinking about that, as soon as you remind yourself, you will see it's like basically just the whole new like kind of a vibration that it's going to be impossible to ignore, because it's almost instantly also going to make you feel optimistic about what you're doing right now. But most importantly, it's going to make you so ridiculously optimistic about your future. You know, and there before you were worrying, oh, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that, now it's just all about to disappear. And this is going to be a driving force. Very, very powerful energy indeed. When we become optimistic about ourselves, and when we become optimistic about our future, to the point when we are so re-energized, when we are thinking about something specifically, this is the sign, this is a God sign that you should go for it. This is something that you need to do. This is important. You were prepared for this for a really long time, but for the love of God, you need to remember what inspired you within the last 5 months, my gorgeous Cancerini. This is more important than ever. And I don't need to tell you, you need to remember, because you will remember. It's going to come to you. And I will be more specific how this is going to come to you. Well, within the next 2 days, after this, you know, after you realize this, you know, hard work, just do it, stick to the plan. Within the next 2 days after that moment in time, my gorgeous Cancerini, I spoke to you about this many times. It's going to come to you the first thing in the morning. And the reason why I always say it's going to come to you the very first thing in the morning is because, you know, like when we sleep, when we dream, we have astral projections every single night. We travel, but we don't necessarily remember. And also at the same time, you know, when we dream, you know, our subconscious, every single night, sorry, we dream, but we also don't remember. So every single night we have astral projections, we travel, and we don't necessarily remember in the morning. And also every single night we actually do have dreams, but we don't remember every single dream, or we don't remember them at all. So now what it boils down to is that particular word that you have on your mind, something specific, it's on your mind. You know, you open your eyes, and very often, you know, something is on your mind out of the blue. Like maybe you remember conversation with your friend from a year ago, or maybe you remember like, oh my God, I need a cereals or something. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly, you know, this is your sacred sign, sacred guidance that you need to go and buy cereals. But it's not so much about the cereals, it's more about your journey towards you buying cereals. What is actually going to happen to you, it's going to be like kind of mind-blowing. So it's more about following, knowing how to follow this little sacred personal direction, which are part of our unique universal guidance. So that's why I'm saying that within the next 2 days after this moment in time, you're going to wake up in the morning, my gorgeous Cancerini, and this is going to be on your mind. You know, something that inspired you within the last 5 months. And this is something that you need to bring in, baby, right now, like immediately. Something that inspired you so much, but it's also to do with you kind of learning more. It's also to do with you finding out a bit more. It's also to do with you kind of exploring a bit more. And every single step of the way, more you're going to find yourself in this. And I don't need to tell you, oh, you need to think to remember. No, baby, no, it's just going to come to you. And even if it doesn't come to you the very first thing in the morning, within the next 2 days after this, it's gonna come to you. Like, for example, if you're just like, let's say you're sitting on your desk and you're like writing something, then you fell asleep, and then you wake up, and then suddenly this is on your mind, you see. Or maybe you will just drift, you know, fell asleep in the middle of the day, and then you wake up, and then suddenly something is on your mind, so you don't remember what you were dreaming about, but then it's all boiling down to something that you've kind of been through within the last 5 months, that you're going to be reminded by, that this is something that you need to bring into this present moment. It is just important, so important, like there is no tomorrow. So it can happen the first thing in the morning that is going to come to you, or when you drift away, like throughout the days, you know, like 2 days, within the next 2 days after this such a moment in time. You know, this is my gorgeous Cancerini. I like this so much because, you know, the beginning of this week is clearly going to show you, you know, like some kind of you know, this is all about the new venture in your life, really, literally. And this is all about you kind of also understanding that what's happening right now, it's going to make your dream real. this is what's happening right now, my gorgeous Cancerini. It's going to make your dream real. And look at this now. For example, if I'm shuffling these oracle cards now, okay, especially when it comes to you making your dream real. This is so important, my gorgeous Cancerini. Okay, this is so important. Almost as if like you're gonna feel like nothing was happening in your life for such a long time. Don't get me wrong, but almost as if like you're gonna feel like, oh my God, nothing was happening in your life for so long, and now this is gonna be such a boom that everything is gonna start changing, you know, and you're gonna like this. And so let me just see what is going to be oracle when it comes to that, you making a dream real. You see what I mean, how important this is, you making your dream real. Okay, you see this, absolutely new beginning. There you go, my gorgeous Cancerini. I mean, come on. This oracle card is showing you this is a new beginning, and I'm so excited for you because the whole new door, it's about to open. You're about to walk through the brand new portal in your life, and it's going to be so beautiful, so gorgeous, because it's going to happen when you least expect it. And this is why this is so important. And at the same time, you see, this is gonna really kind of make you feel so happy. You're gonna start feeling so content, and you're also gonna feel the sudden urge to work on your home. You're gonna kind of start becoming bored with a certain aspect in your within your immediate environment, and this is also such a powerful sign, powerful spiritual sign that things are moving on. Do you know what I mean? This is absolutely brilliant, and it's like at the beginning of a new moon. For example, every single new moon, you know, like you do things like with the shape of the moon. Do you know what I mean? So at the beginning of every new moon, for example, you kind of like get rid of the old things in order to make the space for the new. And this is exactly what's happening to you right now, my gorgeous Cancerini. You are gonna kind of, you know, things are changing, so naturally you are gonna start feeling very adamant to kind of change this about your home, change that about your home, or simply you're just gonna want to make a giant decision when it comes to your immediate environment. Perhaps you will want to move somewhere else, or you will now suddenly not like the area where you live in, you will want to live somewhere else. Or you will just suddenly want to do what you wanted to do in such an absolute ages when it comes to you making certain changes at home, for example, but you will keep on leaving them aside. You know, this is not happening accidentally. This is happening at the right time because, you know, the energy is changing. And while you're changing things around, you're making important and big decisions. You're right, cutting it through really, really nicely, you know, and making the most of it as well. And also, my gorgeous Cancerini, what else I was going to say, you know, it is someone at the beginning of the week as well, somebody very close to you, like somebody in immediate, like maybe an immediate family member, or it's like the best friend, or like a partner, somebody like a very much so prominent in your life. You are going to have a conversation, very important conversation with, and that particular person is really going to surprise you because they are going to give you advice, such a mind-blowing advice what to do. And first of all, you're going to find it ridiculous, and then you're going to be like, wait a minute, this actually makes sense. Where did you get that from? Like, how do you know this? Oh my God. So you're going to realize something new about somebody in your life who you thought that you knew absolutely everything about. You're going to realize some amazing talent that they actually have just by telling you and responding you in such a wonderful way, where they are going to actually give you an amazing mind-blowing advice that you are like really wise advice, like what to do and how to do it. And you're going to be like, where on earth do you know this? So you're going to find out something very interesting about somebody in your life that you didn't know before, but it's actually going to be really, really good. It's going to be really great because what they're going to tell you, you're instantly going to be able to connect to, because also psychically you're going to be elevated. So you're going to be extremely intuitive. You're going to be able to understand so much about yourself and about your life in general throughout this week, and spontaneously You will be doing lots of things without thinking about them too much. So if you're drawn towards something, just go and inspect it, especially when it comes to the power of this week, and especially when you notice the numbers 333 and 111. If you notice these numbers around, this is also your sign that very soon after that moment in time, there is something that you're going to feel, that's something that you're going to see and come across, that you're going to feel so passionate about. That's something that you need to take on, baby. That's something that you need to pay attention to. That's something that also needs to become the priority number one at that stage, or at this stage of your life. You know, through this person, through this wonderful person, you're going to get a clarity that is going to be super beneficial for you indeed. And also, my gorgeous Cancerini, when it comes to the beginning of this week, you know, I want to say something to you as well, that I did say to you, like, you know, for example, like, it's going to come to you like as soon as you wake up in the morning, the specific, something very specific is going to be on your mind, which is going to be a strong part of your guidance. But also, I want to say to you, when it comes to this week, not only the beginning of this week, but the whole week, that you are going to have some mind-blowing insights that are going to come to you through the actual meditation. And I know I've mentioned this before, but now this is like kind of going into this week as well. So just make the most of it. This energy is not going to be there forever. So it's in between the 16th and the 22nd of January 2023. Every single time before you start some kind of meditation, every single time, you know, you just kind of ask the direct question. Okay, so whatever you want to know, whatever you want to know. I know it sounds crazy, but before you start the process of meditation, it can be normal meditation, it can be while you're walking in the forest, maybe you are sitting by the river, sitting by the sea. All these things are making us feel really good, you know, spiritually good. So it is part of it. Like, also, it could be like a meditation, whatever you consider meditation to be. Before you start the process of meditation, ask the direct question, and the answer is going to come in the craziest way. And the answer is going to come in the craziest way, the direct answer, the clear answer. And I'm saying this because almost as if you're literally going to be hearing the voice telling you exactly what to do. Oh my God, this is amazing. Your guardian angel, your spirit guide, is going to come through, come forward, and it's going to guide you towards what you need to do. By the time you get to the meat part of this week, my gorgeous Cancerini, I mean, this week it's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. I don't even know what to say. By the time you get to the meat part of this week, this is it. You are going to become aware of, like, basically, you know, this is going to happen completely unplanned. You're going to be somewhere completely unplanned, and this is when the magic is going to happen. First of all, you're going to find somewhere completely unplanned. So let me tell you, like, for example, you're going to be on your way to buy, I don't know, to buy a flower, and you just go, you get ready, and you go and buy a flower, and you're walking to buy a flower, and then you just end up somewhere completely different, you know. And this is how this is going to happen, like in such a nice and abrupt way, but it's going to be really subtle at the same time. So you're going to find yourself somewhere unexpectedly, with the power of magic, literally unexpectedly, and you are suddenly going to be looking at one or two people, and what you're going to be looking at, you know, you're not going to be able to ignore. There is something that they're going to be doing, there's something they're going to be talking about, there's something that they're going to be creating, you know, but at the same time, you are going to feel such a powerful connection. And for the first time in your life, you're going to feel a very strong connection to what these people are doing. Normally, you would be like, no, baby, no. You wouldn't even notice. But now, there is something that it's going to become so interesting that you're going to hear, you're going to see, you're going to become aware of. And you will naturally want more of that, my gorgeous Cancerini. And you should definitely go for it. And this is something that you're never going to be able to forget about. Not only that you're not going to be able to stop thinking about what these people did, what they were doing, and how you felt, but it's more about the connection that you felt towards what they were doing. You're about to rediscover something very special and very sacred about yourself as well. And it's going to leave you with no option but to kind of find out more about that, to explore more about that, you know, to kind of like a really kind of like a go for it and see how much you can find out, you know. So it's more about you exploring, and that in itself, it's literally going to feel like a little adventure, because at the same time you're going to find out something that you didn't know about yourself, but at the same time you will see how much you've actually changed, you will see how much you actually grew. And this in itself, it's really going to surprise you in a good way. But then again, it's going to make you feel really optimistic. It's going to make you feel really happy. It's going to put you in a really big mood, in a really good mood, because now, you know, there is so much that you're going to realize how much you want to explore, how much you want to do. And this is going to really release the last amounts of those horrible negative energies that were holding you down for way too long. So after this moment in time, you're going to become so excited, you're going to become so cheeky, you're going to become like how you were like a long time ago, and you're going to become what you missed about yourself for a while now. And this is what this negative energy was doing. And these are just a beautiful, another golden spiritual door for you to kind of go through. A beautiful spiritual bridge you're going to cross at that moment in time without even realizing. And that in itself, it's really kind of going to give you food for thoughts. But at the same time, you are like really 2 or 3 days later, after that moment in time, you are gonna have a bit of a hermit mode where you are really kind of gonna be withdrawn, and you're gonna be thinking a lot. You're going to go into this deep like kind of thinking state, and then suddenly something is going to come to the surface. And what is going to come to the surface is exactly like kind of like which step do you need to make. But this step is going to require from you to be brave. This step is going to require from you to be strong, and because it does have lots of elements of you kind of walking into something that you don't know much about, but you feel such a strong urge to actually do it. So this is going to require you to follow your intuition, your psychic energies, and that in itself, it's going to be absolutely enough for you to step forward with this part of your life. You would normally find this really challenging, but now this is all about a new potential in your life. This is all about brand new mind-blowing potential in your life that is going to be superb when it comes to your finances, but above all, it's gonna make you feel good so much better. It's gonna make you feel so much better about yourself as well. It's like, oh my God, almost as if your eyes are gonna be open towards the whole new world that was always there waiting for you. It was just waiting for you to see when is the right time for you to step forward. Like, oh my God. And also, my gorgeous Cancerini, when it comes to the midweek, you know, there is some kind of information that you're going to become aware of. This is not related to none of these things. Midweek, it's also almost as if you're going to be asked to sign something. It's to do with like an information, but before that you're going to need to sign or something like that, agreed to, which is absolutely fine. But you do not sign and you do not agree to anything without reading the whole thing. Almost as if like you're going to be in a hurry to do this, to do that, and almost as if you are kind of going to trust someone, but there is still going to be something at the back of your mind like no baby no. So this one at the back of your mind, no baby no, is the one that you should be paying attention to. And no baby no, not necessarily not to sign it or whatever, this information if you need to sign it, but it's like do not sign it unless you read the whole thing. This is something that you need to understand, that you are going to come across the information that you're gonna need, but you're gonna find quite challenging to receive. So at the same time, you need to review all documents very carefully indeed. This is my advice. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Cancerini, it's like again another person is going to be playing an important role. So here, remember, at the beginning of this week I told you that you're going to be talking to someone very special to you, and here at the end of this week, what is going to happen, it's like, oh my god, oh my god, it's such a nice cute little reunion, as somebody who was missing in your life for such a long time, like a reunion, someone is about to return into your life, not necessarily like stranger in the night, Cancerini in the morning, not necessarily stranger in the night, no baby, no. It's like somebody, like a friend, like a really great friend that maybe for a while, you know, your friend was doing their thing, you were doing your thing, and sometimes, you know, it's just a natural part of our progression. People just like kind of sometimes, you know, karmically grow, you know, people karmically grow, and everybody goes towards their own directions in life, but sometimes people just go away and separate just for like a certain amount of time, because it's needed for us to go through certain experiences by ourselves, because we need to gather the picture that we need to kind of only go through, you know, by ourselves, that we can only understand when we go through things by ourselves. So it really depends it's really to do with your spiritual journey. So the bottom line is that someone is about to return into your life. It's like a really amazing friend from before, or maybe even like a kind of like a family member who was like, you know, really busy for a while, then you were really busy, you know what I mean? But this is going to make you feel so good, and it's really going to surprise you so much in the best possible way. I know how happy you're going to be, because this is going to be a very powerful reunion, and these are only the beginning of stages of someone returning into your life. This is going to mean to you so much, and I know how happy you're going to be. And you know, there is so much inspiration that you're going to get through this person. There is so much that you're going to realize about yourself through this person. And that person is going to realize so much about themselves through you, you know. But at the same time, when that person returns into your lives, it's so brilliant, because they're going to help you to cope with something that you just don't know how to cope with, maybe. And they're going to help you to accept something in such a way where on one hand, you're going to accept some kind of a problem, something that you can't do much about it. The sooner you accept it, you know, the better it's going to be, the sooner you're going to move on. But also on another hand, there is this specific burden, another thing that this person is going to help you to deal with, this specific burden. Oh my god, the specific burden that was on your mind for the last 10 months, and that particular burden that was on your mind was primarily responsible for you not taking the new ventures on. It was slowing you down, and that burden was preventing you to see the doors that were like kind of brand new doors right in front of you. And it happens when something is like kind of holding us down, and when we don't know how to deal with a certain aspects of our lives that was like kind of left in the past. If it's karmically big and important, we are going to be keep on returning to this until we come up with some kind of resolution, and this is all part of our spiritual awakening. Otherwise we can't move on. So this particular person is also going to help you to kind of how to deal with that burden, and that burden was like also preventing you to be yourself. It was making you feel like completely way too restricted for way too long, and this is absolutely enough now. So that person is going to tell you some kind of a secret. There's a little secret that this person is going to tell you. This is going to be wonderful and mind-blowing indeed. And on top of that, not only you're going to find out some kind of a little secret formula here, but at the same time you will know how to leave something behind. You will understand that the specific part of your life came to an end that you used to feel passionate about, but this is what was holding you down, you know. So you just need to be honest with yourself. So through that person, you're going to understand and realize the specific situation in your life came to an end. So this is going to be brilliant, because you will know some kind of rules to follow after this moment in time. But this is all you like starting an absolutely powerful process to transform your life indeed. And also, one more thing, my gorgeous Cancerini, at the end of this week, okay, specifically 21st and 22nd of January, listen to me very carefully. 21st and 22nd of January also going to bring you a significant life experience that is going to require changes to be made, okay? And this is to do with a very, very powerful and unexpected revelation you're going to have, okay? This is going to really be such a big moment here, which is gonna really help you to break free, and you will see exactly what I mean. So now, my gorgeous Cancerini, I'm just going to shuffle this tarot cards, and I'm gonna see what is going to be a tarot card of the week. Okay, my gorgeous Cancerini, what is going to be a tarot card of the week? Okay, so what is going to be a tarot card of the week? Oh la la, here we go, here we go, here we go. So I'm absolutely not surprised whatsoever. Yet again, the spirits are on our side. It's all about you needing to understand that throughout this week, you need to be as straightforward with things as you possibly can be. You need to be honest with yourself primarily. You need to be honest with yourself primarily, because if you're not honest with yourself, you're not going to be able to do anything. And that means that you need to be straightforward, you need to be direct, you need to be honest with yourself to start with, but you also need to kind of remember that, you know, it's all about you must not being put off about a steady progress in your life. You must not be put off about a hard work in front of you. You should definitely go for this absolutely mind-blowing option that you're going to have at the beginning of this week. But that is going to require from you to stick to the plan, stick to the plan, and stick to the plan. This is all about an absolutely mind-blowing venture, slowly but surely coming into your life, which is going to make your dream real. But it is going to come with a little bit of challenge where you're going to think, oh my God, it's too hard work. No, baby, no, it is not. It's going to be easier than you can possibly imagine. Indeed, it's like, oh my God, my gorgeous Cancerini, this tarot card, it's only a mind-blowing confirmation about everything that I absolutely said so far. Okay, my gorgeous Cancerini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.